Coffee members get early access and a special Discord role and chat. Thanks for your support. Hi, we are diving right into this speed build today because the speed build portion of it is 25 minutes long. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Grimmia, and today I hit my microphone and I'm here with a speed build for you today. I said today a lot. I don't know. I got ADHD. So for this build, I was inspired by a real house that I saw online. I saw it in a Facebook group, like for the love of old homes, or like Zillow Gone Wild, or one of those like that. But I know where this is because it's in my hometown. And it's this really, really pretty old brick home, and then they added like a newer part onto it. But this house has a secret. The real one has a secret tunnel going to Riverside access because it's built on the Kalamazoo River. So in the real version, you take like this little secret tunnel, and it comes out to this really pretty building overlooking the river. It's a great view. And then from that other building, from the floor plan, it looks like you can go downstairs to have Riverside access to like a little dock and stuff. So that's what I did here. This is a pretty big house. It's also really expensive. It cost, I guess in the grand scheme of Sims builds, it's not that expensive. It only costs 200,000 simoleons. And I've definitely built more expensive homes. Like that built over mansion was almost 1 million simoleons. But I did the shell really quick, and then I struggled with roofing for a little bit. It took me forever to roof that little diagonal pop-out section. But I did it. I got it together. I think it looks pretty nice. I have the main brick section, and then this part would be the new addition. It's not new in The Sims, obviously. I built it all at the same time. And I cover one of the sections later, but I do leave 2 sections without like a roof. It's just a flat roof with gravel because it just looked better. I struggled a lot. Yeah, like I said with that. I'm not good with the octagons, man. I don't know what to tell you. This build, like I said, is pretty big, pretty expensive. It is on a 64 by 64 lot. I built it on the von Windenberg estate. You can still see that in the corner. And it is already on the gallery. I play tested everything, and we will go do a tour after I talk to you. Speaking of, I want to talk to you about something. Did you know in the analytics for a YouTube page, you can see how many of your viewers aren't subscribed to you? And a lot of y'all, while I appreciate the views, are not subscribed to me. And I usually don't shill myself like this, but subscribing would be very helpful. So please consider it because it's also free. And speaking of shilling, well, I'm still shilling. I have a coffee page, and for as little as $1, like I said all the way in the introduction, you get a special Discord role, a secret Discord chat, and you get early access to all my videos for $1. If you want to give me more money, you can totally give me more money, or you just pay me the $1. I'm happy with anything. I'm happy even if you don't subscribe to my coffee, even if you just follow the page, because the following of the page is also free. But we're just doing the upstairs right now. The floor plan didn't take that long, because I basically followed the one on the real estate page. For the most part, I had to do some adjustments in The Sims, because it's The Sims, you know? And instead of a pantry next to the kitchen, I did add a second bathroom, or a half bath. There's 3 ensuite bathrooms, an upstairs bathroom. I put a bathroom in the Riverside house, which isn't really a house. It's just I'm going to keep calling it a house. And then the half bath. So there's 6 bathrooms and I think 5 bedrooms. And one of the bedrooms I do use as a modern, or not a modern, but like a modern living room. Like a living room with a TV instead of like a formal living room. Right now, I'm struggling with the tunnel portion. So the house is up on a hill, right? So the game says this is the first level. So I brought the tunnel all the way out. That's where the basement is, underneath in the hill part. So I brought it all the way out, and it obviously looks weird. And then I built this section, and I was just going to extend it over the river and then connect it, but conflicting blocks. You can see, so we have the hill house and then its basement, and then we have the river house and its basement, and never the two shall meet. Never the two, yeah, that's the right quote. Never the two shall meet. So I couldn't exactly get the tunnels all to connect, so I made 2 separate tunnels. That's 4. I made 2 separate tunnels and connected them with sheds. It looks a little silly, but it works. So I'm happy with it. I did build this on my Twitch. It took me about 6 to 8 hours over the course of 3 weeks, just because that's how my life is. I can't always stream on a regular schedule, which kind of sucks, but hey, what can you do besides not stream on a regular schedule? So yeah, right about here is when I decided I was just going to do the 2 sheds and then connect them. The only way to get to that riverside house is through the secret tunnel. You can't, I didn't put a front door in it, and your Sims won't swim in the river, which I do expand, although I don't know if I show that on here or not. But, yeah. That's what I've been up to. What have you been up to? I don't know. Oh, and then right there, I tried to do it, because that first house was on a foundation. That's why it got weird. And then it wouldn't work. And then I couldn't remember if you could build ladders on stilt foundations. I don't think you can. So I built one part of the house is on a regular brick foundation. And then the other rest of it is on a stilt foundation. I just kind of had to smush the terrain so you could have like a nice little walking path. And I do leave that corner exposed in that upper shed. I don't know. I thought it looked kind of cool. We did a lot of play testing to make sure that this all worked. You will probably see me here and there popping in with Weird Al and making sure everything works. But he could get everywhere. Well, except for right there when I didn't have doors in there. He couldn't leave that room because he was trapped. But I learned a lot about the terrain tools, and will I remember that for the next time I do something with terrain tools? No, I won't. I'll have to relearn all of this. But it took a lot of messing with, but I eventually got it. I used the match terrain to height. That tool, quite a bit, just to have flat bits. So that way he would walk down a slope, it would be a flat bit, and then he would walk down the next slope. And that seemed to work out the best. And then, like I said, I'm just expanding the water because I wanted more water. I thought it looked cool. I thought about, well, so you could do like a beach house in Sulani, but it wouldn't quite be the same. So I thought, like, maybe that was also a thought I had earlier, was maybe I do this on Sulani, but, like, there's already beach lots. I don't need a secret tunnel going to water. I need to make my own water. So it's not really a pond so much as it is a river. But that's alright. And then we have just like a little dock that your Sims can go fish out of. And then I just changed that to gravel. That's the dining room underneath that. Oh, well, I think I just left it alone. But I do change it to gravel. And I get rid of that frieze and add a roof trim later. Because like, the frieze kept poking through. And I don't even think I noticed it for a very long time. That happens. Oh yeah, I lost my mind over the brick textures here, because I wanted like something different, but I didn't want to do the whole house in stone, but I wanted the bricks to match, and the bricks with the wood slats in them are herringbone bricks, which obviously doesn't match. So I switched, I think I had like City Living bricks originally, and then I switched to Get Together bricks because I wanted the wooden bits on there. But the bricks with the wooden bits are herringbone, and they're not just regular bricks. So it was a struggle. Just putting some columns all over the place just to make it look a little interesting, different, I guess. I changed it. I think I had the clapboard that had the built-in column, And then I got rid of that because I didn't like it. And then just changed some doors around, and at that point I think I stopped it. Oh yeah, this is when I noticed the freeze was sticking through the wall. I wasn't sure how to fix that. And I also wasn't sure how to do something. My phone buzzed, and that distracted me. That's the ADHD for you. Somebody help me. Before I did the river, before I loaded into the game, I was thinking about how best to do this, like off camera in my own free time. And I thought a pool would be cool too, instead of the river, so I probably won't, so don't expect anything from me ever. That's the best course of action. I kind of want to do a version that leads you to a pool. I think that would be really cool, because then your Sims can go swimming in it. And you can just make it look like a river. But for this version, I did the river, and I'm very happy with it. I wanted doors that matched the same wood color, and the only ones I could find were the cats and dogs, because this is a cat and dog arch. But the newest ranch style door that they added in base game kind of matches. It's close enough. But I didn't want the cat and door dog in my house because it looked like a barn. I didn't like the way that looked. For whatever reason, I think that was true in the actual floor plan. That first bedroom downstairs was one bedroom with an ensuite. It connected from the dining room, but I'm not entirely sure if that was like original. Oh, and I had a conniption over the windows too, because I wanted the wood tones to match, and we all know that the wood tones don't match in this game. So I went with the cat and dog windows again, because I did the cat and dog doors, because I like the big glass doors. But they didn't match. Or they did match, but I didn't like the way they looked in, so I thought maybe the Seasons would match, because the Seasons have a lot of good wood colors, and I really like the Seasons windows. But I couldn't get the Seasons one to match. And I wanted windows that kind of... Sorry, I'm getting closer to the microphone, so I'm going to talk a little bit more quieter. I'm also going to drink some water, because I still have to talk for like 13 more minutes. You're stuck with me talking on speed builds. I don't even talk this much in Twitch streams. Oh yeah, the windows. I wanted the windows to kind of match the build. I think we're on a new day. This is day 2 when I finally figured out how to get that octagon roof to work. I watched a bunch of tutorials. Little Simsy has like a roofing tutorial short for like covered porches. I always have to watch it whenever I do covered porches. Every time. You'd think I would know how to do it. So I found a tutorial about getting those octagon roofs. And right here I am pulling out all of the windows that I would think would work. They're all from University, because I wanted the same dark wood trim. So we ended up going with these. Do I change the door? I don't think I changed the door. I had to make the second floor also tall. Or not tall. Medium height, just to get the windows to fit, because I didn't want to have to go through this twice. And then I had to bring them up a little bit off the ground, because they were on the ground, but we made it work. And then that part is, I do cover it. I don't even remember if it's covered in the actual house or not, but at this point, we've deviated. We've made our secret tunnel. We got the vibe, and then we have deviated from the vibe. So that back porch area I decided to cover and turn into a conservatory, which is just a fancy word for an attached greenhouse. So, a greenhouse is detached from the home, and a conservatory is attached to the house. Don't pay any attention to this, because I changed that whole thing. I hated the way the windows looked. They didn't look modern-y enough for me. They looked too cottagey. And I wanted modern windows, and I alt-tabbed, so you got to see my background. I don't know why I alt-tabbed. I thought I cut that part out, but I didn't. Okay, so we've jumped around. I think this is the third day. Yeah, it is, because I'm changing the basement. I added a basement study behind a vault door, because the real house had a big, like, old school style circle vault door, and inside was a little study. I thought that was so cute, so I wanted to do that and get famous. Obviously had the vault door that's detached. I'm just doing some outdoor lighting. Apparently I decided that was interesting enough to keep in. This was the first room I furnished. Obviously, you can see that. I just kind of started pulling out a bunch of stuff I might want, and I really liked that desk from base game, but it's kind of old. Sorry, base game. But so you could see how weird that paper looked that was tacked on the back there. I made this green, I want to say. No, I made it brown. Okay, well, I don't know what I'm talking about. I went with, the barrister's bookcases. It helps to, like, invent, like, a fun little story, you know, when you're building stuff. So, like, one of the Sims here, maybe they used to be a lawyer. Maybe they still are a lawyer. But I wanted to use that desk from university. And the bookcases had the same wood tones as the desk. And I really liked the way those bookcases look. So I used them. And then I wanted, like, nice comfy chairs down here. I thought the lighthouse was kind of cool. The lighthouse lamp, so I went with that. I did make it green. Green was my accent vibe for this room. That's how I'm futzing with my hair. I need something to futz with, which is why I usually... Oh, here it is. I have this worry stone. It's an opal that's got like a little smoothed out center. So I can do this. So it gives me something to do with one hand, but then the other hand doesn't have anything to do with. And right now I am filling the sheds with random crap because I kind of wanted to hide the ladders. So I thought you would just have a bunch of shit in the sheds anyways. I put the garden hose back here because I do decorate, which it doesn't really matter, but I landscape around the back. Once I found a bunch of shelves that I liked, I had to mush things around in there, and then I play tested like a million times to see if I could get it to work with the tree, and the tree wouldn't work, which is unfortunate. I liked the Christmas tree being in there. I thought it was kind of funny. So I just put some shelves and some like random canvases and stuff in there, like I don't know, maybe another sim, or maybe even the lawyer sim was an artist at one point. I don't know. But there's an easel in there that you can drag out if you need an easel. Just doing some of the terrain paint. Diego Lobo is visiting, and Weird Al has no skin. It's fixed now. It wasn't one of my mods. I thought it was a mod, but it might have just been the game. And I'm just doing the terrain paint along where that little path would be, because if your Sims frequently go that way, they would downtrodden the lawn a little bit. That sign doesn't actually let your Sims fish. Come to find out, I thought your Sims would just fish there, like the debug sign, but you have to add fish to the pond, and I don't want to do that. So I replaced that with the real debug fishing sign, and it does work. And I'm just kind of putting some algae around there. We got some ducks in there. We got swans in there. I don't know if that section, in the real life river, I don't know if that section has swans, but I know there's a bunch of swans in the area. I went kayaking around there this past summer, and we saw some swans. They did not attack us, thank God, because I would have died. They would have just knocked me over in my boat. I had a life jacket on, but I wasn't very stable in the kayak. I was, like, really tippy, you know? We're just doing some of the landscaping next to the conservatory. I do like the hydrangeas. We have some of our own in my real house. And you can actually get them, like, in one section in multiple colors, just based off the acidity of your soil. Ours should be like that muted pink to white. So we should get some that look like the ones kind of in game. One of them might be dead. It gets a lot more sun than the other one, which is unfortunate and sad. This is the formal sitting room, living room, whatever you want to call it. The parlor. I have family friends when I was growing up. They had a parlor and a den, and the den had the TV, and the parlor did not have a TV. Although, in hindsight, I think the parlor might have just been a dining room, and we called it a parlor. The kitchen is very large. I had fun doing like a super cool zigzaggy counter situation. And I wanted an island, and I wasn't entirely sure where to put it. But I'll show you in the tour. I do put it there somewhere. I put sconces. I don't use that lovely, lovely saucer light everywhere. I do delete it and then replace it with the lamps I want to use. So downstairs, it is sconces, because I thought that looked pretty cool. And now we're doing the conservatory, which I added the flower arranging and wood carver table in there. Just some stuff to do, I guess. And then I filled this room with plants. I wanted to put the lavender in here. Like, it's potted inside, but it didn't look right. But, yeah, just plants. And then a broom to clean up. I don't know. I put wisteria from Cottage Living just to, like, along the edge. Just kind of look kind of cool. A little bit of ivy all over the place just to make the outside look a little bit something. Because it looks pretty cool from the map, like I'll show you. But it just kind of gets boring after a while when you just look at it and it's brick again. What are we doing? Oh, pots. I thought it'd be cool to add pots. I don't have the plant kit, so I couldn't add, like, those pots. But I did the Island Living pots and the Jungle Adventure ones. Like, if your Sim's a florist, maybe they just have extra vases hanging around. And in the piano room, I do kind of make it blue and gold vibes. And then, because I put those rugs down, and then 2 days later I came back and I didn't like them anymore. It took me a minute to get the rugs to go away without deleting the floor, and I went with this nice rug from City Living because I thought it looked cool. And then we did gold frames. And now upstairs we have, I cut out a lot of the bedrooms, and we're only doing the kids' rooms now, which is fine. We have 2 bedrooms with double beds, and then 2 bedrooms with single beds that are kind of kids' rooms. All of the bedrooms have a desk, and the double bedrooms have just a laptop. So in my brain, there's like 2 kids, maybe a teen, and then 2 parents, or there were at one point. Maybe they all grew up and moved out, and I knocked my water bottle. They retired or something, but now these rooms are for their grandkids or something like that. I don't know. Just like a little bit of clutter, not a whole lot. I bounced around. We're downstairs in the not the fancy living room, but the other living room, because I saw those puzzles from Get Home growing together. There we go. And I wanted to put them downstairs. I used that bookcase from Get to Work, and because I thought it looked a little built in right there, so it was pretty cool. It took me a minute to pick runners. I just went with these ones. They're just kind of whatever. I wanted something in there to break up the blahness of it all. Same with over the fireplace. I just wanted something over the fireplace. And then I realized that I only have 1 computer in this entire upstairs, because there was the other computer in the study, so I just added a desk in that bedroom. And then now we're back in the kitchen. You can see I finally decided on the island, and then just some clutter. It's all placed on that counter by the stove. And then I wanted the tea maker, but I don't want the Sims to use it because it's super annoying. And in Little Simsy's hotel build, she was saying she put it on a counter, shrank it down, and hid that counter in the actual counter, and your Sims can't use it. So I did that with the tea maker and the coffee maker. I put the plates there just so something was on the counter, so maybe Sims wouldn't use it. But maybe they're just plates that haven't been put away yet. And now I redid the windows. I did decide on the growing together ones because they look big windows. I want big windows so you can look out over the river. The real house had a big-ass boat, not big-ass model boat on display, and I wanted to include it, and I decided if I couldn't find a boat, which I did find a boat, I would just use the Brindleton Bay model. And I'm glad I found a boat, because I didn't want to use the model. Like, I just wanted something in there. But we found a boat, we sized it up. We do put it on those Get Famous pedestal things. I'm just looking for a bar that matches. I think we end up going with Jungle Adventure bar. I wasn't sure where to put it. I just slammed it in that other room in the back. That was really not even the only good place for it. I just wasn't sure what to do with it. I wanted it down there, but there was really no good spot. Thought about a rug, decided against a rug because we have 2 different seating areas and I didn't want 2 different rugs or the same rug in 2 different places. That's the Get Famous pedestal thingy. And then I put the boat back in here where I wanted it in front of the window and then just made this area a second seating area. Just because I can. And we are at the end of this, so I'll see you in game. Here we are at the Tunnel von Windenburg House Estate. On the island in Windenburg, just because, well, honestly, because I saw this part of on the lot, and I wanted to maybe somehow connect it, and then I realized there's no way to do that, so I just added the pond in the back. I wasn't entirely sure what to do in this front entry room. I thought about laundry, but I've been putting laundry in a lot of my builds lately, so I decided against it. It leads into a kitchen, and there was a half bath. All of the bathrooms are blue, and they all use the same stuff. Cats and dogs, toilet, sink. I think that's a Get Famous shower. And then the cat and dog bathtub. It's easier for me to do all the same things. And well, some of them are more decorated than others. As you can see, I guess at some point I gave up on decorating them with, I can tell you exactly what happened. I built the kitchen and was going to start putting stuff in it, and then I decided, hang on, I will finish the whole house, and then I'll come back and add stuff in it. Because I decorated this one with, like, little accents and stuff, and I didn't do it anywhere else except for these 2 rooms. But yeah, right, we have our kitchen, we got the little cat and dog hutch, mostly because it matched the door. Leads into our dining room, and then there's 2 extra chairs, so you could put them at either end. If I had the tool mod installed, I thought about putting the chairs, like, stacked on top of each other, you know, like how chairs stack. But I don't exactly know how to do that with the tool mod, so I didn't do it. What the fuck am I trying to say? So we have, like, the less formal living room, the den, if you will. I wanted a Murphy bed, because, like, this is a bedroom, technically. Because here's the ensuite bathroom. But I didn't want it... Game keeps bouncing me around. I didn't want it backed against the wall. And in the real world, you can get pull-out couches that aren't backed against a wall, unless you put it against the wall. So I just left it as a couch. It's just very boring. Anyway, the lounge, other living room, this took me a minute, but all of these are alt placed because they don't snap to shelves for some inexplicable reason. I wanted bookshelves, but I don't have them on the right height, and I know I always I always praise the Sims 3, like, hip height bookshelf, because it's still, to this day, my favorite bookshelf in the entire fucking game. But we don't have those, so I used these base game shelves, and then I alt-placed all the books, and then I just changed the colors. And on the top shelf, I just put other stuff, because there's windows right there, and I didn't want to deal with clipping. And then I did behind the couch tables, because I think that looks nice. And then, like, if you're sitting in these chairs, you would be able to, you know, reach and pet a cat, perhaps, or turn off a light. There's nothing above... Oh, just kidding. There's a picture above the fireplace. There's not, like, a TV or anything. Upstairs, we have 4 bedrooms, 2 with en-suites, and then a hall bath. This would be your master suite. It was so big, I decided to just, you know, throw a little couch in there. And then you got this nice little eco lifestyle leaf thingy. And then in our other big ensuite bedroom, you saw in the speed build I had a dresser here. I already made space for the wardrobe, so I deleted the dresser. It felt too cluttered after I added the desk just to have another piece of furniture there, which it wasn't really a whole lot. Like, your Sims can very easily move around in here. It felt cluttered looking at it. Mostly because I really wanted a vanity. Because I like them. The whole reason... Well, one of the big reasons why I bought Vintage Glamour was for the vanities, and then I never used them. So I added one into this game, or into this build. And then just 2 kids' bedrooms. They're just kind of whatever. They're kids' bedrooms. I made sure that nothing is Okay, well, besides that curtain, it's not clipping against the other curtains. And now looking at the curtains, I'm wondering if they're all the same color, so I'm going to stop looking at them, and we'll go downstairs to where Weird Al is, hanging out in his little study. He's just got a nice little study with a little clock, and then this cute little amuse-bouche cow plant terrarium, because I thought it looked nice. And then you take that to your sheds and into this room, which is the fancy room where you can go fish. You can just sit and hang out, have a read, look out over the water, that kind of thing. Like I said, it is on the gallery. My gallery ID I will put down below, but it's _Grimmia. If you're interested in this, you can download it.